nice section of town. Beep beep. Beep beep. They click their buttons and make their fucking cars blink and shit. Everyone drive by. Fucking weirdos. They're all fucking weirdos, man. Something ain't right though. There's definitely something wrong with people. They're either being mind controlled. That's the most likely scenario because I keep going back to this. It's too far-fetched to believe that everybody is involved in this and somebody hasn't fucked up yet. And I mean, I guess they have. There are whistleblowers and shit. See, I go back and forth. But I don't think it's just spiritual, and I don't think it's just a big psyop, and I don't think it's just all mind control. I think it's all of the above. Why can't it be all of the above? Look, it's a one headlight. Right whenever I come to the intersection. No, 2 one headlights in a row, of course. I mean, come on, people. Right when I get to the intersection, there's 2 one headlights in a row. And then you got this guy here. It's fucking bright-ass weird headlights, right? But what are the odds that right when I get to the intersection, I know I'm going to get cars drive by. Because I can't go through an intersection for the last 3 years without having a car drive by. Period. I keep doing it. I can just at any random time be driving and just pull out my camera and show you that I can't get through a fucking intersection without there being a car there. It could be 4:32 in the morning in bumfucked Egypt in a back road and I'm going through an intersection, there's going to be a car there. Yep, absolutely going to be a car there. Without a doubt, okay? That's not normal, people. That is crazy itself. That's fucking crazy, okay? That is not normal. Alright? Not at all. If you think it's normal, you're fucking nuts. Oh, run. Now you gotta run. Right? She's running to her vehicle. Right? And it wasn't Fred Price, I was wrong. It's the chick that works at the IGA she's like a dyke or something. I don't know. Some kind of weird dyke. I don't know. But she had to run to her vehicle, right? I wonder if this person's still sitting in their car. I got your number, motherfucker. There's somebody sitting in that car. Just sitting in the car, man. It's just sit in the car. I just don't sit in the car. I like sitting in my car. I like being a perpy fucking weirdo. Now they're in the back. That's them. That's that weird dyke bitch. She ran to her fucking vehicle, drove around to the back, and then parked and turned her lights off. Okay. Now, is this normal? I don't think so. I don't think it's normal. I think it's a little bit shady. Turn your lights off. What's up? What are you doing here? Run, Forrest, run. What's up? Fucking weirdos. And you get this guy standing here in his car. They're fucking weirdos, man. What's up? What the fuck is wrong with people, man? These people are all fucking standing in the dark. They're hiding in the dark by their car. And then they ran out and then shut their lights off. Like, what the fuck? I mean, this is a nice fucking car here. That's nice. Look at that thing. That's nice. I like going to the grocery store. It's exciting, isn't it? Never thought in a million years I'd be able to say it's exciting to go to the grocery store. But it's fucking, it's funny. It's entertaining if nothing else. It is entertaining. You got Mr. fucking Dingaling over there. I'm gonna shove that bell right up your fucking ass. Fucking weirdos. But it's objective, you know what I mean? It's you know, it's just perspective, it's objective. They could just record me and say the same. They could say it even easier. They could say that I'm a weirdo. Even easier. I sat there. Oh, now here they are. They were just standing behind the fucking vehicle with their lights off. Come on. What the fuck are you doing, weirdos? That's fucking weird. Beep beep. But they had to hurry up and jump in the fucking car to get down to this intersection. Like, come on, it doesn't make sense. Right? She had to run out of the store to come in her vehicle just to drive around the back, to shut her lights off, to stand at the back of her vehicle, then hurry up and jump back in her car just to be able to end up at the fucking intersection when I drive past. Come on. I mean, what more do you want? It's fucking weird, right? And that one there, that's a perp. That's a perp. She's a perp. Perp, she's a perp. Perp. Perp, 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 perp. So now if I see these people in public, right, and then I approach them, I'll approach them, right, and just be completely normal and be really nice and courteous, and they act fucking weird. They don't know what to do. So that's weird. That's not normal. That is just proof. It's evidence that there's something going on. I'm not the weird one. They are. Whenever I act normal to them, you know, if I see them or interact with them and they act weird, why would you think that that's weird of me? It's fucking weird of them, man. It's fucking goofy. Fucking goofy people, man. They're fucking whacked. This shit is whack, yo. Look how many people are in town, man. Holy shit. There's a ton of people down here. What the hell's going on downtown? It's a Thursday night. It's just a random Thursday evening in Patton. Of course, there's a lot of people. It's, you know, it's one of these super fucking populated metropolitan Patton area, right? You got a whole whopping 1,600 people here. Of course, it's going to be packed on a Thursday night in Patton, right? Why wouldn't it be? You got about, oh man, you got these fucking weirdos. They're just standing outside their Jeeps. Everybody's standing outside their Jeeps. They run away whenever I come up. 2 Jeeps in a row. 2 people standing outside their Jeeps whenever I come up, right? And as soon as I pull up, they run away and go in the store. Listen, they didn't just get here and get out of their vehicle because I would have seen them pulling in. They were there already, waiting for me. They're fucking weird. And then you got the weird plates, right? The weird fucking plates. I didn't need to go to the dollar store. I just wanted to make the perps fucking uncomfortable. They like to make me feel uncomfortable, so I like to return the favor. That's all. You know, that's how it works. You get what you give, okay? So when you put out this type of shit, there's more weird plates. Another Jeep. This is not normal traffic. Just saying. Just saying. Not normal at all. Let's go this way. These fucking people are weirdos. American strangers in the night. Wow, Sheetz is packed too. Where are all these people coming from? What time is it? 5:55. Are you serious? It's 5:55. You can't make this shit up, look. $5.55. See that? Can't make this shit up. And And that wasn't like that was set up or manipulated for me to look at the clock just at that time, so that they didn't change the clock so that it said 5:55. That's where I come from when I say it's a spiritual aspect. There's something more going on. This is way bigger than just fucking people acting strange, right? Like, I don't know, but there's a group of people that are awake, that can see it. They can see it. The people that are acting funny can't see it. They're just blind. They're like zombies, man. It's fucking weird. I'm not the only one saying it, man. It's fucking weird. I don't know what the deal is. If we're in a fucking some kind of simulation, you know, like there's the fucking official use. These fucking vehicles, man. It's official use right there, Pennsylvania. It still has fucking chalk writing on the back of it, in the back windshield. You see that? 0539 BBM, whatever that means. Like, that fucker's brand new. It's never even been through a car wash. And tell me this bitch is gonna get in the car. This fucking bitch, has been one of these fucking stalkers from day one. When I lived at the apartments, she would come out with her Bluetooth speaker and she would blast the fucking Bluetooth speaker. She did it in the store last week. I'm standing there having a conversation with somebody in the store, the convenience store, and she fucking, what the fuck is that all about? He's messing with his gas cap, weirdo. He looks like a fucking government agent. But yeah, that chick comes in the store and I'm sitting there having a conversation and like, she turns her Bluetooth speaker on while she's in the store right there. Literally, you couldn't hear the other person. And she fucking blasted it while she was in the store before she even walked out. It was fucking like totally blatant and rude and on purpose, you know? On purpose. Because she was perping us. She was perping us. Oh, it's the first of the month. It's Social Security Day, man. Everybody getting their Social Security checks. I notice whenever I see a line at the lottery machine. You see a line at the lottery machine, you know it's fucking Social Security Day, right? Right, Ray? I've caught him perping me one time. He was walking his little dog, and I caught him like following me around, you know, and he said, which way you going? I said, oh, I don't know, it depends. Which way are you going? And he said, oh, I don't know, that way. I said, well, that's what I'm going that way then. And he's like, no, you know. It was funny because it was really obvious, you know. I had nothing against the guy. He's a nice guy. I like Ray. But he was absolutely acting fucking weird walking his dog one day, and so I called him out on it, kind of. He wanted to know which way I was going for some reason, you know. He had to ask me which way I was going, so I want to know what way you're going, and then I'll go that way. Because that was his intent, to find out which way I was going so he could parallel me, you know, so he could walk just far enough away, but observe me, you know. He could stalk me, basically. I don't know why they do it. Like, is it so they can get some kind of, like, a picture? They get a picture of the person or something? Listen, when I lived at the apartments, I seen total strangers pull into that parking lot, right? And they pull in, and they fucking, each one after the other, they get out of the car, right? And then they turn themselves so that they take a selfie. Right? Both of them did this. They took a selfie, each one after the other. They were young too. They took a selfie and made sure that my building was in the background. Okay? It didn't make any sense. If they wanted a picture of the building, they could have taken it from inside the car. If they got out of the car to take the selfies, so that means that they had to get a picture of themselves at that location. right? Why would somebody do that? They both did it, and it wasn't because they wanted to, put it on their Instagram. Okay, like this guy in a red coat here, fucking Perpy McPerps a lot on the phone in a red coat. He was in the store, now he's out of the store, now he's in the store. You don't know what he's gonna do. You don't know if he wants to buy something or if he just wants to talk on the phone in his red coat. Right? His handler is on the phone telling him what to do. Come on, you know what I mean? It's fucking obvious. I didn't think it was hard to notice this shit, but I guess regular people are stupid. Regular people are fucking retarded. And you can't fix stupid. So when you point out the stuff that you're noticing everywhere, it's right in front of your face. It's blatant. They look at you with this dumb, retarded look on their face like, what? What are you talking about? Or, if they're a little bit smarter, they'll sit there and come up with all of these excuses to explain it away. What? He's just going to Sheetz, man. He's just on the phone, because he's a normal person talking on the phone. He's just at Sheetz going to Sheetz, right? He's not doing anything, conspicuous. Like Ray, they always come out and they never buy anything. They go to the store to get a pack of gum or a lottery ticket, right? Because that's, I don't know. I mean, I get it. People stop at the store to get, a lottery ticket or a pack of gum sometimes. But when you see a bunch of senior citizens here going out of their way, and they go to the store and they're on the phone and they're dicking around and they don't know it looks like they're lost, like they're senile and they're lost and they don't know where they're at. And they end up leaving without ever buying anything. And you see this time and time again everywhere you go. And it's always strangers. It's people you don't even know. Like that guy there that's Ray. He went in there, got a pack of gum or whatever, came out. I don't know what he got, but he didn't have a bag or any item I could tell. He didn't make it look like he was a perp. He didn't make it that obvious because he lives in this town. It makes sense. But the ones that do the real weird shit, I don't know where they come from. I've never seen them before. Where the fuck are they coming from? You grew up in this town for 39 years. It's, like I said, the population is 1,600 people. There's some people who have a bigger fucking graduating class than that. There's not a lot of people in this town. And you know everybody. You know every face, and you might not know all their names, but you know everybody. You've seen them before. For years. Right? You know where most people live, and you know what they drive, and you know, everybody knows everything about everybody in these little towns. So what the fuck is going on whenever you go around and fucking 75% of the people are totally new, totally different people. I don't know where they came from or who they are, and they're acting really fucking strange. What the fuck is going on? Right? They're pumping a bunch of immigrants in from what is that all about? They're flooding, they're bringing immigrants and spreading them all over the country. Is that another, is that just are they literally pumping it? Are they literally infiltrating planet Earth with the human race right now with a bunch of fucking another race? And they have to slow drip it in, right? They have to just do it in such a way that nobody asks questions or notices that there's a bunch of new so-called human beings on the planet everywhere. And they're acting really fucking strange. I mean, who are these people? Where are they coming from? Why do they all have these fucking vehicles? They swap plates and they fucking have strange personalized plates. Like, it's like so fake. It's weird. And they all seem to have this super, super high technology. The dude I was talking to, he was just telling me he literally saw people disappear in front of his eyes. And I told him straight up, I said, listen, I believe you because I've heard some fucking crazy shit. I've seen some crazy shit. But I also am open-minded, so I'm also open to the possibility that you were sent as a perp, I said, to talk to me just to push the crazy shit. I said, that's so, don't get mad at me if I still hold that belief to be true. I said, because they do that. They like to do that, I said, I'm not going to call you a liar. I'm just going to tell you, I've never experienced people disappearing, you know. I've never experienced that. And he said about a time that they made a bunch of golf balls just appear out of nowhere in front of them. Like, I forget the rest of the story, but it was literally that's the gist of the story. The point of it was they made a bunch of golf balls that weren't there before. You just show up out of nowhere, right? And he said he went to a priest. He didn't know what the fuck was going on, so he went to a priest to get advice. That's that fucking fat bitch that just came out and got in the vehicle. She's in there fucking checkout again. She came out and got in the truck beside me. Now, why? Where the fuck did she go that she's back in the store? How the fuck, do you know what I mean? Make it make sense. Unless she has a fucking twin, fat-ass, ugly bitch. Identical twin. That's possible. It's not probable. It's possible. These people here, you know what I mean? They're perps. They just fucking pulled in beside me and nobody's gotten out of their vehicle yet. They've been here for 5 minutes. Oh, now they're leaving. Really? Come on. Come on. You just pulled in. Why you gotta leave so soon? Really? Come on. We were just getting started. Yeah, that's that fucking weird green vehicle from one of my videos where I said I see it everywhere. They fucking perp me everywhere I go. That's it. They just pulled in, never got out of their vehicle for 5 minutes, sat there until I turned the camera on them and pointed out, and then they got to pull out and leave, right? Right? That's normal? You're going to tell me that's fucking normal? Come on, man. How much more do I have to show you? How many more perps do I have to expose in my small little fucking tiny little 1,600 people town? How much more do I have to piss people off and put myself at risk and expose them as perps before anybody will believe what I'm saying? I've had these people in this town who have already exposed. I've had them physically attack me, threatened to put a bullet between my eyes. Another one threatened to fight me outside, local business owner, and there's no explanation. One said I ruined his life. My YouTube channel ruined his life. Another one said that, claimed that I was calling him a liar. Said that I was smearing his business and making him out to be a liar, calling him a liar on my YouTube channel. That's not how that went at all. I just asked the right questions. I couldn't get any answers. I'm missing information here. When you people don't, want to have some weird narrative, but it doesn't include me. It relies upon you spreading information around, right? But I'm not in on the information. But it is about me, but I'm not in on it. Then I ask the questions to catch up and find out what the fuck is going on. I just want to know what's going on. Then all of a sudden everybody's mad, and I still can't get any answers. Everybody's mad, making people out to be liars. I don't see that you're being a liar unless there's other information that I don't have. Is there some reason that you think I'm calling you a liar, Travis Hillier? Because I never called you a liar. Yeah, see, there's the fat fucking Bluetooth speaker bitch. In her minivan. They gotta make sure they spend their government check all in one day, You gotta buy some more Bluetooth speakers and Twinkies. I need Twinkies and Bluetooth speakers, please. And Crocs for my fat feet, because I don't have no ankles. She got cankles. She has cankles, and she should spend her check on some fucking new clothes. There they are, though. Sitting right there in that vehicle, which is a different vehicle too. I don't know. I know I've seen these people swap vehicles around and shit. I caught the one guy. I was at a store hanging out playing a gambling machine, and this red Jeep that had stalked me and followed me around before, I seen the same Jeep, so I figured maybe it's the same person. But he pulls in, and the people that were normal, right, in that town, it wasn't Patton, it was Westover. They lived in that town. They went to that store every day and hung out. The one guy's sitting back there, and they have a little group where they hang out and just, sit there and drink coffee and shit in the store. The kid comes in when the red Jeep, right, walks in, and they just act like I'm not there. They don't look at me, it's funny. But they look at each other, he kind of like signals to the group, he comes in, and the one guy must not have been in on it, because he's like, how many vehicles do you own? He said. And the kid's like, well, he didn't say anything. He's like, well, I don't know, just mumbled something. He's like, well, I just seen you earlier today in another different vehicle. Now you got that thing. How many vehicles do you own, And he's like, oh, no, that's not mine. That's not mine. It's my buddy's. It's my buddy's, He didn't say who. He just, for some reason, had his buddy's Jeep. His buddy's perp-looking red fucking Jeep. Nice new fire engine red Jeep that happens to pull in right whenever I'm at this store in Westover. And it's just based off of the local people talking. I was able to determine that that kid's driving somebody else's red Jeep around for some reason. Won't look at me, And then whatever he said to them whenever I walked out of the store, I hung out for a while, but so did they. They weren't leaving until I left. So then I sat in my car, and just from sitting in my car, I watched him. He said something to the group or to the people, because the guy that wasn't in on it, he reacted to it, because he immediately changed his tone. He turned and started staring at me, and he gave me that look like he was worried, like I'm gonna steal something, right? So he must have went in and told him, oh, watch, that guy's a thief, And then they came out and locked their vehicles. Like, they came out and had to lock their vehicles because I was sitting outside of my vehicle. So I assume he went in there and told them I'm some kind of thief or something, right? It was clear. I mean, it was clear as fucking anybody could tell that he went in there because he was a perp. He used another person's vehicle, because it's what they do. They swap plates and shit. They'll perp you with the vehicle of choice, of red Jeep, if they can, right? So he did. And to confuse you, because you don't know whose vehicle's whose if they swap vehicles around, and they swap plates around, and then they say fucked up shit to people that are just normal people, right? And get them to give you dirty looks because they think because they just believe what they're told. They think that you're some kind of thief or pedophile because somebody just told them that. And there's no reason in their minds, of course, it's not normal to think that somebody would just make that up about somebody, right? So I get it. Somebody came up to me and said, hey, watch, that guy did this. Yeah, I know he's done this, and my buddies, saw it. Or, yeah, my buddy has pictures of him doing this. When you add that little detail in there and you say that, people are so stupid that they just, for some reason in their brain, it just automatically, like it's the password. Like you automatically gave them information and you included the password so that it just, boom, it's in there, and that's it. They are convinced. You convinced them by that, with that little subliminal detail that you added in there. They don't even realize it. Because if you just said it different, if you said, yeah, he's a thief, and you didn't say anything else, they would question it. They'd be like, well, why do you say that? What did he steal? And then that's it. You said, I don't know, he's a thief. That, they wouldn't believe you, right? But when you say it in such a way where you're like, oh, that guy's a thief, yeah, because I know he's a thief. I see my buddy has a video of him fucking robbing his truck. You add that little detail in there. Think about it. That's all it takes. And then people are so stupid that just that little detail will convince them. They will be convinced what you just told them is the truth. And then they will spread it around, right? So they'll be unknowingly participating as controlled opposition, right? So they're being manipulated. They're victims as well then. They're victims of the fucking manipulation and shit. And that's, I think, the most of it is made up of that. Most of the people that are giving you dirty looks and perping you and shit are made up of people that have been lied to and manipulated. And it ain't right. It ain't right. So I'm trying to spread awareness that people do this. It's hard to believe that people are capable of this and people would do these simple fucking weird things because it's not normal. That, it's important, it's necessary that I say it out loud so that if you've never even heard about this tactic or you've never experienced anything like this happening, it's kind of like profound, you think about it and you're like, that's a good point, that's true. That's all it takes to make somebody believe something is you add a little detail in there. And then something in their brain just tells them, oh, it has to be true because he said this, because he said that there was a video. Well, if I can say there's a video, that doesn't mean that there's actually a fucking video. You know what I mean? You can say whatever you want. That doesn't make it true. But it's not hard at all to manipulate people into believing something if you know what you're doing, and you do it in such a way that you don't get any more questions, So there's like that way. If you say, oh yeah, my buddy has a video of him doing it, what else are you gonna ask? What could you ask? Oh, he does? Okay, well, oh, okay. Must be true, right? What else could you say to that? Your brain doesn't understand how to question them at that point. If he was lying, what question would you even ask? You'd be calling him a liar, basically. If you had any other questions after that point, you'd basically be saying, I don't believe you. Well, did you see it? Were you there? I mean, that's how it would be portrayed. Is you'd be implying that the person is lying, and it's not comfortable. It's an uncomfortable, awkward confrontation when you call somebody a liar to their face, even if you're just implying it by the question you're asking. So this is, my fucking mind was opened to this. It's like, wow, it's that easy. When they did this to me a couple times, after like the second or third time they tried a stupid tactic like this, just luckily I've always asked the right questions, and I just never, I didn't just lay down and roll over for them and say, okay, you got me, I'll just admit to something I didn't do because you're a good liar. I always ask the right questions. So luckily, after a couple times of doing that, I could see these situations and call them out. As soon as they would try something like that, I'd be like, oh yeah? Okay. Well, who has the evidence? Who do I need to talk to? Where can I confirm this at, Did you hear it, or are you saying it because you know it's true or because you think it's true? That's another good one to ask. You make them put their credibility on the line, You say, okay, wait, are you saying this is true without a doubt? Or are you saying that you heard that it's true? And that usually, as long as you make it clear that, you're going to get to the truth. So you want to know if this guy is telling you the absolute truth or if he's just speculating himself. So when you do that, it has a way of, helping the target back out, has a way of kind of not letting them get away with lying and shit, right? You don't want to let them get away with lying and shit. Look at this big fucking perpy looking government fucking vehicle. Look at that behemoth. It's a behemoth right there. Brand new fucking nice shiny brand new white SUV. Don't tell me that's my mom's ex, my stepdad. Nope, it's some young rich kid. Could be my stepdad's vehicle though. He has one just like it. See, these people all just come in to get a lottery ticket, right? That guy just pulled in just to come in and get a lottery ticket. That's it. Because he's got a vehicle like that, he's got lots of money, so that's why he came in. He came to Sheetz, just so he could just get a lottery ticket, right? right? I mean, that's normal, right? Yep. He said, "Oh, guys, I gotta go into Sheetz. I need a lottery ticket." Right? Gotta go to Sheetz. Gotta get a lottery ticket. So he's getting a lottery ticket. Right. Yep, there's his lottery ticket. Yep, now his handler told him he has to go in and browse around now because I called him out because I just I just recorded him doing it. There's a bunch of people in here just standing around bullshitting. I see them talking to each other. It's like they all know each other. So that's funny because you didn't arrive together, but yet you do know each other. You're talking to each other, but I don't know you. I'm from this town, and I don't know who the fuck you are. So where the fuck are these people all coming from? And it's like I'm not here. Nobody will look at me. That's another thing. Nobody will look at me. I kind of like that. I think it's great because it just gives me the free reign to record their asses and expose them. Because I can call it out. Look at the red coat. I can call it out and say, look, these people won't look at me, you know? And then they won't look at you because they don't want to be exposed. They know what they're doing. You know exactly what they're fucking doing. It's on purpose. They're doing it on purpose. That guy's probably just buying lottery tickets. But that dude there, look, he's already in his vehicle. I didn't even see him buy anything. He just like walked around the store for a second after getting his lottery ticket. That's exactly what he did. He went through the store and went out the other door so that I couldn't record him in front of my vehicle because I fucking called him out. He's probably got a fucking handler in his ear telling him what to do, you know? I mean, this is like the way I'm showing you and explaining it, and I'm sorry, but I try to be objective. So, you know, I try to look at it like, well, could this just be in my head? Could this just be a mental illness that I'm just have delusions that all these people were doing this? No. And I answered the question, no, this is just me calling out fucking weird behavior. Like this person who's been sitting there for all this time, now they're going to get back out of their vehicle, right? That chick, she's going to come back in the store, right? They just watched her come out and go over to her vehicle. But the big SUV left, look now, it's empty. It's fucking empty. Because the perps can only do, what they can only dick around for so long before it's obvious, right, that they're perps. So they have to leave. This is normal now. There's like 4 cars in the parking lot. This is normal for Patton, right? On a Thursday night. I mean, it's still above normal because there's a lot of pedestrian perps. Like, why the fuck is they going way down there? Who knows? But now there's going to be like a second round, right? Or they're going to regroup and double back. You know, they're going to go regroup, grab different cars and different configurations and shit, and then they're all going to flood back in here if I sit here any longer. You'll see it fill back up again. You'll see the parking lot fill back up again. It's like you know, you see like the one headlight right there, right? They're at the gas pump, but they make it a point to keep their fucking headlights on. And the kid was sitting there for a while, and as soon as I point the camera, that's when he gets out, you know, and his headlights are still on, right? Like, hey, buddy, your headlights are on. He knows his headlight is on. He knows his headlight is on. Watch this. Hey, buddy, you got a headlight out.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. See, he knew. He knew he had a headlight. He's like, yeah, I know. You see that? He didn't even turn around and look because he knew he had a headlight out. All right? And you can get pulled over for having a headlight out, right? So people don't typically drive around all the time without fixing their headlights. They don't want to get pulled over, so they get their headlights fixed. Hey, there's that red Jeep. Look at that. There's my red Jeep. Like, here we go. Now it's filling back up, right? There's another Jeep. Tell me that's the Jeep that was at the dollar store, is it? I think it is. No, that's another red Jeep. That's... Yeah, where the fuck did I see that red Jeep at? It was at the IGA, I think. I absolutely saw it sitting there somewhere for a while. Okay, now you get the... Here comes the creepy white van. Right. Now, that dude was sitting in his car for a while, right? And it wasn't until I fucking moved my camera over here that he decides, okay, now I'm going to get out and get gas. And he happens to have one headlight. He knows he has one headlight. Now he's going to dick around and change his oil, right? Or check his oil and shit, okay? Because it's normal? Because that's normal, right? I get it that is a normal thing that people do. But I'm telling you, come on. It's no coincidence that he has one fucking headlight. And that he was sitting in his car the entire time until I pointed my camera at him. And that's when he got out. Right? He knew he had one headlight. He acknowledged that. He's like, yep. It was no surprise to him. He didn't have to turn around and look. And then he's going to dick around because I told you he's a perp. He's not in any hurry. He's got to try to do his perping, you know? So, perping ain't easy, man. You gotta give these guys some credit. Perping ain't easy. Perping ain't easy. Now look at that. Now look at that. This fucking parking lot is filling right back up. All of these fucking cars just fucking piling in now. One after the other. Boom, 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 boom. And they're all different, you know. Like I said, they gotta regroup and they gotta... But I'm seeing cars that I saw at the IGA now. Right? I'm sure they don't like to do that. They don't like to use the same ones that they just used to burp me with. But they're going to do it. Now, this person's going to go get air. Okay? See that? There's somebody's going to go get air in their tires. You always have somebody getting air in their tires, right? You can't make this shit up, dude. Come on. Because it's, Thursday evening and it's rainy out. This is the best time to get air in your tires, right? Of course it is. Of course it is. And it's funny. All these people pulling into the parking lot, but nobody wants to park beside me. Nobody wants to park right beside me. Why is that? Why is everybody afraid? Look, all the cars back over here on the other side of the parking lot. Right? The whole back is fucking filled up. The back line over there. You got people getting fucking air in their tires. All the gas pumps are full. Back behind me is all full of cars back there. But there's nobody beside me, right in front of the store. Right in front of the store, nobody beside me. And there's just one car here, but then nobody right here at this corner. They're parking all the way over there. And they're parking at the gas pumps. Like that red Jeep, it was in the parking lot. It was over here first, parked. And now it's over there at the gas pump. And it's been there for how long now? Sitting there, just chilling. Right? Definitely longer than it takes to get gas. And like I said, he was in the parking lot to begin with, over here. And then he moved and went over there. So, you know what I mean? Come on now. Yeah, could all this just be coincidence? Sure it could be. But at what point do you start saying, you know what, there's something to this? Yeah, he's got a point. I'm only doing this to try to show you, like, I could do this at any time. This is my life. This is all the time, anywhere I go. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, actually, it's like it's picked up. It's actually more right now. And it's like when I record it, it's like because I'm recording it, they're doing it on purpose. Right? Because I'm recording it, then it's like they do it even more on purpose. And he's staring at his phone as he comes out of the store. He can't even walk without staring at his phone because he's looking at himself right now. He's watching himself be recorded right now. He don't like it, but I've fucking caught a chick doing this red-handed to the point where I wasn't even looking at the recording. I just hit record and held my phone up on the top of the fucking machine. The first video on my YouTube channel, the very first one. And then I gambled. I minded my own business. I didn't even pay attention to it. I just knew that I thought the people that I was pointing the camera at were perps, okay? Now, she would not have known whether I was recording or not. She would have just seen the back of my phone with my hand resting on top of the machine while I'm standing there gambling, okay? But whenever I did this, you can see in the video, if you watch it, she looks at her phone, she looks up, she looks back down at her phone, then she starts flipping me off. That's not normal, people. I get it. If maybe she thought that maybe I was recording her, right? And like she would be like, is he recording me? And why would she just look up all of a sudden? She was looking at her phone to begin with. But when I started recording her, she all of a sudden looked up. Like something told her that, something alerted her to look up. Because she saw it on her phone. She saw herself on her phone. She was looking at her phone, right? They're using our devices to spy on us. So she's looking at her phone, which is watching what my phone can see. So when she saw herself on her own phone, she couldn't help it. She had to look up for a second. And she seen the phone, and she looked back down. She seen that again. She confirmed it, she had to double check. And then she just, without thinking, right, she just reacted. Because they're stupid. She just reacted and starts flipping it off. Starts flipping us. Just a random person inside a store who just happens to have a phone in his hand, right? You don't just flip people off like that for no reason. You ain't knowing if the person's recording. That's not normal. I mean, it tells you everything you need to know. You watch the video, you'll see. It's clear. It's so clear that I caught a fucking perp red-handed who was gang stalking me, who could clearly see what was going on my device. To the point where she was so convinced that when she gets out of the truck, right? And her boyfriend, meanwhile, is sitting in the driver's seat. She's flipping out. Meanwhile, the boyfriend is just sitting there calm as a cucumber. He doesn't even fucking turn his head. He doesn't look up. He's seasoned. He's trained and seasoned in this, right? He knows what he's doing. He knows not to react. He's trying to do, what he's been trained to do. But she can't help herself. She's an idiot, right? So she gets out of the truck. They both do. And they proceeded to come in the store. But right when she gets up towards the window where my phone was, she waves at the camera and gives a fucking one of those snide fucking looks at the camera. She waved to it, right? And I remember them coming in the store, but I wasn't looking outside. I wasn't looking at my phone. I didn't know at the time that they were the perps from the truck. You know what I mean? I was just minding my own business, gambling. But I do remember the guy. They came right down the aisle I was at, and they hung around right at the back by the drinks where I was sitting. I didn't even notice the girl in the store, to be honest, but I did remember the guy. I remember him coming right by me and walking right past me there and hovering around me. And he was cool as a cucumber in the store, too. He didn't do anything weird. He didn't do anything, to make me think that, to get my attention or make me think that he was mad or nothing of the sort. I didn't even discover this until about 2 months later. I was looking at all my pictures because I was taking a lot of videos and documenting a lot of shit. And I, played this video and I was like, well, what was this from, And then I watched it and I was like, oh, fuck, no shit. I had no idea that I captured that. No idea. Because I was just in the habit of recording everything. So when I found this, you can imagine my surprise whenever I found this on my device about 2 months after. And this is the point where they had already deleted shit off my phone. And I knew that if I did get anything like that, I had to immediately put it online. I was waiting to get that smoking gun evidence, and I was going to put it online because I had some good shit before, and they would just delete it off my phone every time. So I knew at that point, well, I'm going to have to switch, change my my strategy here. I'm going to have to use their tactics against them, right?
And so I did. And patience just played a role in that because I didn't even know I had it on my phone, right? So it was a couple months went by. So they probably didn't even realize that they probably didn't even know what to delete. It's just, there was a bunch of videos on my phone. They're not going through every one of them, obviously. So I was able to get that one online, and within an hour, I had comments from Chief Handler. Very first video I ever put on YouTube. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea if anybody was going to see it or what to, I think I titled it, caught gang stalker red-handed or something, or something like that, or caught a gang stalker with their pants down. I think that's what I titled it, something like that. But either way, within an hour, I had Chief Handler commenting on my video, and at the time, I was under the impression that the Chief Travis Schilling, the Chief of Police of Patton, was the one behind my targeting and everything, right? The very person behind it. So when I see a comment from Chief Handler, right, on my YouTube, and I understand what the term handler was, right? Because I was just fresh on the TI thing, and I just learned about what all this was. I didn't know, never heard of Chief Handler though. So I see Chief and Handler. I thought, are you fucking serious? I was like, this is Travis. I thought this was Travis Schilling. That's makes sense, right? That's why I thought it was him, because he did little things, whistled at me and shit in the court hearing, just to let me know that, because I would always whistle, Seven Dwarfs, whistle while you work, when my perps would come around. I like to let them know that they're working, They got to get that money, they're working. So he whistled his way out of the courtroom the one day. It's just to let me know. And then the fucking Mikey Ramat did the same thing to me at the Cambry County Courthouse. He was the bailiff in the big courtroom, and he left his little post over there by the defendant's side of the defendant's stand. They usually stand over on that corner there. But he left that area and walked all the way around towards me. I was sitting in the center. And he walked all the way around towards me in the center. And he whistled his way. Over and back. The whole way over to me and back. In the courtroom. He was whistling in the courtroom. It was another, one of those fucking overt, in your face, I'm whistling because I'm doing it to you. Because I'm doing this to you. I'm stalking and harassing you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Type deal. So it wasn't until later on he said something, that Chief Handler in the comments said something about me being, oh, you're schizophrenic or something like that, or you're on drugs, something like that was his comment. So, and to me that was really strange, and I was like okay, because it's not a normal fucking comment to that video. It wasn't a real normal person. So I was easily able to ask the right questions, thinking it was Travis Schilling. I asked him, I explained it just how I explained it to you. Like that's not normal behavior for her to just assume that I'm recording just because she sees the back of my phone. Does she just go around flipping everybody off that has the phone in their hand? If somebody's taking a selfie or somebody's just holding the phone in their hand, text messaging somebody, does she flip them off because the back of their phone is pointing towards her? It was something really smart ass, and it was true though, he couldn't argue with. And I ran him right off the fucking channel to begin with, after like 2 or 3 comments back and forth. And my son saw this too, back then. He saw this, and it made his jaw drop too when he seen it. It was confirmation that, this is really going on. There's really people doing this. And at the time, there's no way possible that anybody in town could have, heard about me saying it or watched any of my YouTube and then started doing it, right? Because at that point, it was the first video I ever uploaded. I didn't tell anybody about any of this except for my mom and my son at that point. That was it, my mom and my son. That's the only people that knew, because I trusted they wouldn't be compromised. They wouldn't be involved in it, right? My son was 11 or something at the time. 12 maybe. I think he was 12. So the fact that he saw that right off the bat, he was with me when I got the phone call, and they said your targeting will never end, and they hung up on me after they set my chainsaw on fire. Right? Set the fucking chainsaw on fire. It was because that day I went and recorded my interaction of going to the police station, and I tried to get my pistol back, and I started recording because the cop wouldn't answer the door. So I started recording, and I said out loud on my phone, I said, well, I'll just have to go look and see if the cop was on duty, who was on duty at this time and date on this day. Since I knocked and he didn't come to the door, he must not have heard me, right? And then, what do you know? After I said it out loud, then the cop comes and answers the door. And he says out loud to me, he says this, he says, oh, sorry, I didn't hear you knock. Okay, think about it. Sorry, I didn't hear you knock. Oh, so that's why you came and answered the door? Because you didn't hear me knock. What? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know if they purposely do that to give themselves away. Just to let you know that to say something that implies that you can't hear somebody knock on the door. How would you know to come answer the door if you didn't hear me knock on the door? Make it make sense, right? So I just got done recording this, and I asked him about my gun. He was real nice, though, Officer Bogus. He was real nice. And then I got home and was going to use my chainsaw to cut down the fucking tree that fell in the backyard. Brand new chainsaw. I used it once. It ran great. Nothing wrong with it. I checked the fluids in it. Were all good. And it ran great. I ran it for a good half hour, 45 minutes, just to break it in a little bit and test it out. And then the next time I went to use it, I started it up. It started up. And I just wanted to let it warm up a little bit first because it was a new chainsaw. You want to let them warm up a little bit before you go, full throttle on them. So I started it up, and it was just, I choked it and started it, and it was just idle in there a little bit. And all I did was went in, grabbed a pair of gloves, and came right back out to leave this chainsaw sitting there running for 30 seconds, maybe. Listen, there's no reason it should have caught on fire. No reason at all it should have caught on fire. I looked into this to see if that's something that's normal. It doesn't make sense that a chainsaw is at risk of catching on fire that easy just by starting it up. You start it up and just, if I wasn't touching it, nothing. What's the difference if I had the chainsaw in my hands or if it was sitting down running? Like I said, was it going to catch on fire in my hands? It's not normal. It wasn't normal. It was just idling, and it caught on fire. Flames coming out and everything. When I got outside, the smoke was fucking billowing out of this fucking brand new chainsaw that's sitting in the ground. And I got the neighbor behind me standing right there, as close as he could be in his yard, which I never see him there. And the other neighbor on the other corner, he was just in that one little spot where he could see me from his yard as well. And one by one, if I looked at either one, they would look away. So they refused to even look in my direction. It was fucking... It's undeniable. I don't know what else do you want, you know what I mean? So they both pretend that they can't see the smoke billowing out of my middle of my yard, okay? And I'm standing there, and I just keep looking back and forth at each one. I was like, are you serious? You guys are seriously going to pretend like there's not a fucking chainsaw on fire right now? And I let it burn. I sat there and let it burn, crossed my arms, and stood there, and looked back and forth, and just smiled and shook my head, because it was like, are you fucking kidding me? You guys are really going to pretend like you don't see this fucking chainsaw on fire right now? For real? That tells me that they were responsible, that they had something to do with fucking setting it on fire. One of them had the direct energy weapon or something. Listen, they have to have a directed energy weapon that they can heat shit up. They can heat either electronic something up or maybe motors. They can heat something up because dude, they did it to my car. They did it. Conspiracy Underground talks about this, and I haven't talked about it that much, but they've done it to my car. They did it to my daughter's car. My dad's car broke down all at the same time. right? My car, I work on my own car. I know what I'm doing on my own car, right? And it's no fucking coincidence that my car just has a very unexplainable overheating problem, right? But it's only whenever I went to the courthouse. It was fine driving there. It drove there just fine, no problem at all. I parked it, and I had my dog in the car, so I put the windows down. I left the key right in the car because the windows are down. It's, you know, if somebody wants to get in, they're going to get in. You know, so I didn't think about somebody reaching in and turning my headlights on, right? But I would go in the courthouse and come out, and my battery's dead. My headlights are on. I didn't turn them on. Somebody else reached in and turned my fucking headlights on to kill my battery while I was in the court hearing, where they were tricking me into probation, right? And it should have been dismissed. It should have been completely dismissed. The cop wasn't even there. Didn't show up. But they did this to try, so they could try to do the next phase. They wanted to try to manipulate a situation where there was a warrant for my arrest, so they could then fucking show up at my house and kill me because it didn't work the first 2 times. Okay? I'm not an idiot. They sent my fucking probation papers to my old address. My old address was not on any of the fucking court papers about my charges at all. It was my new address. They had to go out of their way to find my old address to direct my fucking letter that I didn't even know was coming. They made it out like it was unsupervised probation. I pay the fine off in full, and that was it. I didn't have to be on probation. That's what they told me in front of the judge. They said, "Oh, if you pay your fine off, you petition for early termination, you're good." I said, "Okay, that's the only way I did it. That's the only reason I did it." I said, "Okay, well, that's the case, then I'll do that." I shouldn't have even taken it. I was just trying to compromise, right? And make everybody else's life easier, because it's what I do. Instead of making the public defender spend the rest of his day just waiting, right? Because he made it out like, well, we could just take this $50 deal right now. Otherwise, you know, I'm not sure how long it's going to take, you know, if we don't do that. So I'm an idiot. I fucking took the bait. They sent my letter to report to probation on a certain date and time to my old address. They sent the letter. Luckily, I got the letter. But what would have happened if I didn't get that letter, right? They would have issued a warrant for my arrest if I didn't show up at my scheduled appointment that I didn't even think would ever happen. Right? They would have had a warrant for my arrest. That would have gave them justification. That would have gave them the right and the warrant to come right to my actual residence, and they could have killed me. They could have shot me and killed me and claimed that, you know, I had a gun, that I pulled a gun on them. I believe that's what they were trying to do. They wanted to manipulate a situation where they could have the right to, you know, to bust in on me at my house and kill me. That's what they tried to do at the apartments, and it didn't work. Because what were they going to do there, right? They didn't have a warrant. They didn't have probable cause. They didn't announce themselves. 2 cops come up and just start shoulder blocking my door. I even backed up. I said, "Can I help you?" And they never said a fucking word. They busted in my door, guns blazing, and didn't expect my son to be recording it, okay? So what were they going to do? They didn't have any just cause to do that. It's not like I had a warrant. It's not like I was, you know, at that point, it was a tenant-landlord dispute, okay? In which case, their job is just to keep the peace. That's it. The mediator, to keep the peace. They don't have the right to remove you from a property, to arrest you and remove you from a property. They don't have the right to do that. They did it, though. Oh, they did it. They arrested me at gunpoint in front of my 12-year-old son while he recorded it, but they were going to kill me because Jason Owens, they never announced themselves, you know? If they weren't successful, then that's pretty much the game right there. They lose their job. Oh, put your hood up, perp. Fucking put your hood up, perp. He puts his hood up. And, you know, Abe talks about the fucking Mr. Dodge Ram, Mr. Black Dodge Ram. Look at this fucker. Big black Dodge Ram. And he fucking puts his hood up as he's walking in front of me because he knows what he's doing. They just walked in and out of the store like that quick. Didn't fucking get anything. Because this is the second wave of them, and they're clearing out, right? The parking lot was just full, and now they're fucking clearing out. Right? They still don't want to park next to me. This is as close as they'll get. Right there. But yeah, so what was the cops planning on doing? If they didn't have any reason, how was that going to work out? Busting in my apartment like that, without a probable cause, without a warrant, without announcing themselves. And in the video, if you pause the video at the very beginning, right at the very beginning of that video, whenever I'm on the ground in my apartment and they got me cuffed, and the chief of police of Hastings, Jason Owens, a former state police officer, no longer a state police officer. I don't know why. I can only speculate that he's a piece of shit cop, and that's why he's not a state police officer anymore. But he's got his fucking taser pointed at my head. Okay, I don't know if it's a taser or his gun, but he's got his sidearm pointed at my head, and his other arm, you can see it at the very beginning of the video when you pause it. Looks like he's breaking his arm to cover up his body camera. It's clear as day. I mean, clear as day. You can't deny it. He's like fucking twisting his arm backwards and shit. Because he's like a real round, like, stubby guy. So for him to reach up to cover up his body camera like that, so that it's like out of view of the camera or something, I don't know. It's like his elbow's up in the air, right? And he's got his hand right around his chest, like right in the center of his chest where his body camera would be. And that's when he has the thing pointed at my head, right, like fucking 6 inches from my head. And I'm non-combatant. I was smiling. I just got down, put my hands in the air, and I just got right down on the ground, and was fully cooperative. And you can tell Dillhole, as he's shoving me out the door. He's like shoving me out the door, swearing up a storm. I fucking told you I wasn't fucking around. What the fuck are you doing? You coming back here? You told not to fucking come back here. He was just saying stuff because he didn't know what the fuck to do at that point. He's fucking trying to figure out what the fuck to do. The plan just got botched by a fucking 12-year-old kid, right? And then outside, when they're outside and I'm in the squad car and he has me detained, illegally detained, and he searched me, and I was clean. He took my gun, and all the neighbors are sitting outside watching, practically eating fucking popcorn, right? When that's going on, he's sitting there talking to Jason Owens, the chief of police of Hastings, who's just, he's not qualified, I'm sorry. He's sitting there, has to explain it to Dillhole, how the process goes. Like, well, they'll have to give them an opportunity there. If they want to be a dick, they can be like this. If they want to be, if they want to be decent, they can be like this. You can hear him explaining it to Dill right there in front of Ben, like blatantly in front of Ben, as if they're trying to figure out what the fuck to do, and they don't know what to do. They're just, it doesn't make any sense. They're sitting there like, what do we do now? Oh, what do we do now, Rocky? Boinkle. Fucking Pinky in the Brain. Fucking Dumb and Dumber. What do you do now, Dumb and Dumber? Well, I don't know. Jason Owens is the smart one. He just pretty much makes Dill look like a douchebag. They tried to fucking block my son in, like, as they're arresting me. No shoes on or anything. They didn't think that through. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They had no clue what the fuck they were doing. Because he even said, he alluded to this in the hallway when all we did was got out of sight of the apartment. They were gonna kill me, dude. They tried to stop my son at the fucking doorway. They tried to keep him in the apartment that they were arresting me from, right? He stopped and blocked the way and said, "Oh, you got somebody to get you, buddy." And I saw what he was doing. I saw it. And I said, "Ben, follow me down here. Keep recording. Follow me down here, Ben," And that's when they said, "Oh, shit, he don't have any shoes on." Shit. That's when they realized that it wasn't going to work. They were going to off me right fucking there in the hallway. Because he brings my shoes, and then right whenever he's goes to give me my shoes, and then they make Ben go back in the apartment to grab his shoes or something, right? And right whenever Ben goes back to get his shoes or something, Dill he says to me, because I got my sidearm on me at the time. I still have my pistol on, right? And I'm cuffed. And he says, all right. He said, he was loosening the cuffs or something. He was doing something, but he kept saying over and over again, he kept saying, if you reach for that gun, don't fucking reach for that gun, or don't, he kept saying it. It didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, why is he, what, was he think I'm gonna fucking have a shootout? Like, it didn't make sense to me at the time, but looking back at it, I realized they were gonna try to off me right there in the stairway. That's why he tried to block the way for my son to come down. He was gonna have him, okay, you block him and I'll fucking off him right here. Dude, these guys are fucking sickos. They're corrupt sickos and they're dangerous and they fucking, somebody's gonna get hurt. I mean, you explain it to me. Explain some scenario or situation that makes sense. That's not what I'm telling you. What the fuck was their plan there? To bust into my apartment with no warrant whatsoever and arrest me at gunpoint like that, right? And just to shove me out the door, and he tried to escalate it, He's like, what the fuck, I fucking told you this, and he's just shoving me out the door, swearing up a storm in front of the 12-year-old with a camera, right? Because they were trying to fucking do something right there. They wanted to kill me right there. They just had to get something to justify them shooting me in the head. Because I had the pistol. They left the pistol on me. They left it fucking on me. Dude, that's not proper fucking procedure. I do not believe so. And I'm not even a cop, and I know that's not fucking proper procedure. And it's only looking back at all this that I was convinced that they tried to kill me that day. I didn't realize it at the time. Okay, I didn't. But I knew to tell my son, no, you follow me with that camera. I knew that. I had already been aware of what they're fucking capable of doing and what they're willing to do, right? So after he was unsuccessful, he had to give me my gun back in the parking lot and release me right there in the parking lot. I never seen my neighbors move so fast in my life. When he handed me my gun back in the parking lot there, and they were all sitting there smiling and fucking laughing, it was priceless to watch all of them fucking get up and scurry in the building so fast. Like, you could tell that they knew what was going to happen ahead of time. You could fucking tell. It was so obvious. So obvious. And in no other time did you ever see all of the neighbors outside together like that before, ever. All of them together like that. That's the only time I had ever seen all of them together outside like that, ever. So, they obviously were told ahead of time what to do or what was going to happen, right? Obviously. Because they don't necessarily get along. The neighbors are the best buddies or nothing. They don't talk, but they were all outside at the same time. And they were all fucking paying very close attention, right? They wanted to see what happened. They were, they were invested in it or whatever. So when that didn't work, then he put out the warrant for my arrest. That's what you see online when you look up my name. Then he put out a fake warrant. Said I was wanted for felony burglary, criminal trespass, criminal mischief, and that wasn't even the charges though. The actual charges, he charged me with felony breaking and entering and criminal mischief. And that was for the door that he broke in. When he broke into my apartment, he claimed that I came back to my own apartment and stole my own stuff, okay? This is what he claimed. So it was a total bullshit allegation. He went around to all my family members and everybody he could and made a big show. Actually, he and Jason Owens together went around, which wasn't normal. Both those cops, the Hastings cop and the Patton cop, spent the next couple days driving around together, stopping at all these places together, right? The Hastings and Patton cop, they were like a tag team. They're, butt buddies to the end, right? They're driving around together. They went to all my family members' houses. They went to my fucking grandmother's house. I was a quarter mile down the road standing in my buddy's driveway the whole time because they knew where I was at. They fucking follow me and drive back and forth in front of me the entire day. I got confirmation that they knew where I was at later on. That somebody had told me that Randy Baker was in Moorfields with a bunch of other people, like 10 people, just bitching about me, saying that if they know where I'm at, why don't they just come arrest me, right? So they were talking about me, saying where I was at, and they knew where I was at. But they wouldn't come arrest me. No, because that wasn't what they wanted to do. All they wanted to do was paint the narrative. They wanted to convince all my family members and everybody they could that I'm some kind of criminal. Because if they go around looking for me, saying that I'm wanted for all this, right, then that sticks in people's heads, and they think, well, if they're looking for him like this for felony, and it's on the news, and it's on the newspaper, it's on Facebook, well, then he must have done something wrong. He must have done something wrong, right? He had to have, right? So this is why I speak out, because that's all it takes, is them to just do this to somebody, completely make it up, complete bullshit, and people believe it, and people get mad whenever somebody comes and says how fucked up cops are. People get mad and say, oh, you're disrespecting the cops. What are you disrespecting the cops for? Why don't you just show them your ID and shit like that? And they don't understand. They have no idea. You back the blue till it happens to you. I am lucky to be here today. I'm here for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. There's a reason that my son was there to record that day. There's a reason why the second time he tried to kill me, it didn't work. I didn't even tell you about that yet. Second time he tried to kill me, it was a simple traffic stop. He pulled me over, and then he asked me, oh, you got your gun on you? You know, I said, yeah, I carry it everywhere. And he, oh, where's it at? You know, and I said, it's on my right hip, where it always is. I wasn't reaching for it, you know. So there, he knows where it's at. He knows I carry a firearm. He knows I have a concealed carry. He knows all this to be true from prior knowledge, okay? Then, after he says that, he says, you know, his registration was out of date. So that's a citation, you know, it's a ticket. Give me the ticket, you know. But no, he wants to escalate it, right? He says, well, give it to me. Give me your gun. Just like that. Like a fucking crazy person. He just starts demanding my gun. Now, all that I can think is I remember him busting into my fucking apartment without a warrant and arresting me at gunpoint. And now he's demanding, like a madman, that I just hand him my gun. So how would that have went? You know, if I just would have been stressed, you know, and like under pressure because of him, you know, acting that way towards me, I could have panicked and reached for my gun, right, to hand it to him, right? And then what happens? Boom, boom. Double tap, you're dead. Oh, he tried to shoot, he reached for his gun. You know what I mean? They are trained. They know better. They know damn well how to handle a situation like that. And if you're a responsible gun owner, you know this too. You know exactly how the traffic stop's supposed to go and what your rights are and what they aren't. So I said to him, can I just get my citation, you know, and be on my way? And he said, no. I said, give me your gun. I'm allowed to take it until the traffic stop's over. I'm allowed to. I said, yeah, what? But why do you have to? Like, why do you want to do that? Can't I just get my ticket and be on my way? I said, I'd really rather not do all that, you know? That's what I said. I'd rather not do all that. That's all it took for him. He got that response from me, and that's what he wanted. He wanted me to say something, you know, towards the effect of no, you know? So he said, stand by, went back to his car. And I knew what was going to happen next. Immediately when he just gave up and went back to his car like that, right? I knew that we would have more cops showing up and that they were going to try this shit again. They didn't get me the first time. I thought they were going to try to kill me again. Okay. And here I was, right basically right down by the pub in Patton, right across the road from Sharon Red Baum's house, who conveniently, you know, the people around there, they make a big spectacle out of it, big show, and all that was heard, you know, the story going around. I asked around what was being said about it, and all that people knew was that I got arrested and something to do with guns, right? I got arrested and something to do with guns. So they're painting me out to be some kind of armed and dangerous person, right? Something to do with guns. That's what they said. But when the cops pulled in to back him up, right? They didn't follow police procedure either. They pulled straight towards my car, okay, head first, straight towards my car, and crossed it, like in front of my car. Dill pointed this out when after it was over. He said to them, he's like, yeah, I don't know why you guys you pulled straight in, you know what I mean? Because he alluded to the fact that he must have really explained to them like it was a dangerous situation, that show up for backup. I'm gonna need backup. I have a, you know what I mean, like an aggravated, armed and dangerous suspect, you know what I mean, that he needs backup for. That's non-compliant. That's what he said. The cops asked me when they got there, he said, why wouldn't you just comply? Why are you, telling him no? Or wouldn't you comply whenever he gave you a lawful order? See, this guy's a perp. He's just gonna stand there and stare at his phone like that right in front of the car. But I said, well, I wasn't being non-compliant. I said I was being completely fine. I was like, I have this problem. This officer is something wrong with him. He's gonna hurt somebody. I said, and I had a prior incident with him where, he broke the law, and the state cop told me that day, sitting there, or Evansburg cop told me, he was like, he's like, well, you seem to me like you're perfectly fine. He's like, I don't, based on your interaction right here, he says, I don't see any problem. He's like, just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing the right thing. Just remain calm and everything. I said, yeah, I'm always like this. I'm never aggressive. I've never had a violent charge or anything in my life. Nothing related to violence or anything like that. So he said, well, at least, after the fact, you can sue. He told me that. This fucking cop told me to sue. Right? What the fuck is this kid doing here? So anyway, you're not getting this video. I'm putting this video on YouTube as soon as I'm done, motherfucker. So I said, all right, I don't want to get him in trouble, but I don't think he realizes he's fucking shooting himself in the foot here. Like, I don't know why he's doing all this, making this big scene. But beforehand, anyway, when the cops showed up, they got out of their vehicle and they pulled right in front of mine. He's like it was directly in the line of fire, right? That's what he was claiming. But I took it as something different. I took it as their dash cam would have been pointed directly at the car. I think he might have been alluding to them like, why didn't you pull back so your camera was facing the other way, guys? You know what I mean? So whenever they pulled up, they got out like fucking cool as can be. They were more seasoned police officers from Northern Cambria. I had never had any interaction with them because I'm not a criminal. I haven't had like all these weird police criminal interactions like they try to claim that I did. But he gets out of the car though. Dill Hole gets out of the car like a crazy person. They're cool as can be, cool as a cucumber. He gets out, guns blazing, yelling at the top of his lungs like a fucking psycho, right? Get the fuck out of the car, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of the car. Get on the ground. Get the fuck out of the car. I'm not going to tell you again. And I have my hands on the wheel, okay? And I tried to just look straight ahead with my hands on the wheel. And they opened the door, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't moving a finger, I know how this goes. I've seen enough videos where people get fucking shot. For no reason, unjustly get shot because cops are trigger happy. So, and I'm not even thinking at the time that he's going to try to kill me. I'm just thinking I'm not going to do something stupid here. He wants me to reach for my gun, That's what he wants me to do. He's trying to fucking intimidate me and scare me into panicking and reaching for my gun because I'm in the car and he's demanding that I get out, but I got a seatbelt on and he knows it. And I just kept saying, as calm as could be, I have my seatbelt on. He kept screaming. I tried to respond. I have my seatbelt on, but before I could even get the words out, he would scream again. so that you couldn't hear me. He was trying to scream over me, right? And make it out like I was not complying. He was trying to paint the picture for for his camera, for body cams, or for the public around the area, for the people that were probably, watching and listening. He was just trying to paint the narrative that I was not complying. Okay? So, that wasn't the case, though, you know what I mean? I just said, I have a seatbelt on. I'm not going to reach for my seatbelt. That's where my gun's at. That's exactly where my gun's at. What do you know? Right where my seatbelt is, right? What do you know? So, I'm sorry, but I'm not exaggerating it when I talk about this. I'm not fucking making a mountain out of a molehill or anything. If anything, I'm downplaying it. The motherfucker tried to kill me twice. Without a doubt. I think the Northern Cambria cop realized how bad it looked, because, or he was just a good officer, a good guy who recognized that something bad was about to happen, because he put himself in between Dillhole and myself. He literally put his whole body like right in between. Whenever Dill was, the last time Dill said, I'm not going to tell you again, right? To get the fuck out of the car. That officer put himself in between us. So I commend that officer. I don't know I wish I knew which officer it was, what his name was. He did the right thing. He really, really did. I think he saved my life that day. He put himself, he didn't just reach over me to undo my seatbelt. He put himself in between us. You know what I mean? His complete body. He hurried up and put his whole body in between us like that. And then undid my seatbelt for me, and I didn't move. I let them pull my seatbelt off of my head, because it was behind my butt and it was over my shoulders, because that's how I had it, so that I could just pull it, you know what I mean, like a quick way I could just get in and kind of pull it over my shoulder. So they undid it and they got it over my head, but then they had to get it from behind me, Anyway, I got out of the car, right? And I'm standing there because I'm being completely compliant. And I'm standing there, and the two Northern Cambria cops, the one was a sergeant, right? So he's the sergeant on the scene, and he's signals for me to turn around and assume the position, turn around, put my hands on the roof of the car, so they could pat me down and take my gun. So he's telling me, to do that. Meanwhile, Dill's still got his gun drawn, right? Still has his gun drawn. He's still yelling and screaming, saying, "Get the fuck on the ground! I told you to get the fuck on the ground." The sergeant is saying, turn around, go up against the car. I just froze again. I'm looking back and forth at both of them, like, you're telling me this. And he, I'll never forget it. He rolled his eyes, right? He's like, really? He's fucking Super Trooper, right? So he rolls his eyes and he's like, all right, do what he says, He's like, just do what he says. Get on the ground, I guess, You could tell he was embarrassed, humiliated, and he was just trying to de-escalate, the Northern Cambria officer. So I do, like I said, I commend that officer. If if you're watching this, or who it might have been, there were two officers from Northern Cambria, and I do believe the one officer has since died. He had a heart attack on duty, I guess. Shortly after that, while he was on duty, he had a heart attack. I don't know if it was that officer or if it was the other one, but one of those officers that day, I think they saved my life. They did the right thing, and they should be recognized for it. And I want to let them know that I appreciate what they did. I really appreciate what they did, and it's not going unnoticed, and I thank you, and my kids thank you, and my family and my mother thanks you. Again, Dillhole, you're a piece of shit, right? You need to give up your badge and your gun and find another profession, because you're gonna hurt somebody. You're not fit to be an officer at all. Dillhole. Brian J. Dill. 32 years of age, Tyrone, Pennsylvania. You are not fit to be an officer. You are a piece of shit. And you're going to hurt somebody. You already did. I have newspaper clip. I have a fucking picture here I could show of the newspaper article of you, fucking the lawsuit that was against you when you broke the dude's nose. Because he was engaged in a constitutionally protected activity, motherfucker. And you broke his fucking nose. Well, they settled. They settled that for an undisclosed amount and a non-disclosure agreement, so the other party, the injured party, can't talk about it either. So I don't know how many of your taxpayer dollars paid for his fuck up, right? Northern Cambria or Patton, whoever, Patton, Northern Cambria, you guys all work together, so it's important that anybody watching this knows that your taxpayer dollars, right? Your hard-earned taxpayer dollars paid for this fucking Super Trooper's mistakes, right? And he got off scot-free, and you're not even allowed to know about it, right? Because it's not public information, because they settled. They settled out of court for an undisclosed amount of money, right? Because this officer's a fucking loose cannon. And anybody that's had interactions with him is not surprised by what I'm telling them, right? So I say again, it's important for the Northern Cambria officer who was there that day on Mellon Avenue in Patton on November 24th, 2021. Thank you. You saved my life. November 24th, 2021. Just so happened it was the day after I uploaded a video talking about Pegasus and talking about how my phone was intercepted by somebody. Somebody got my phone, and then somebody sent Amazon a phone back, and I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I think my device has been intercepted in transit, and they gave me their device or something. But it was convenient that it was like the day after that this happened, that Dill tried to kill me the second time. And because I talk about it and expose his ass, look, what do you know? I learned the law, right? And I pushed and I forced, held their feet to the fire and forced the issue all the way. I was willing to go to trial for all this. I wanted to. I absolutely wanted to. And just to make it easy on everybody, when the case was about to be dismissed, because Dill didn't show up. Of course, he didn't show up to his fucking hearing. It was going to get dismissed. I took a disorderly conduct. That's why I got in trouble, because I took a fucking $50 fucking disorderly conduct charge whenever that fucking officer is just a piece of shit lying motherfucker, is corrupt as all hell, right? So he said, oh, you never get your fucking gun back, right? Well, I'm proud to say I have my pistol back. And they didn't make it easy. They went out of their way to try to make sure I couldn't get my concealed carry permit back too, but I got that back too. Oh, they sent a fake letter and shit that looked like as if it was the state police. Tried to claim that I wasn't eligible to have a concealed carry or some shit, but no, I fucking held their feet to the fire on that one too. They had to give it back to me. So I have all that back. And this is the power you have. If you have the knowledge, right? When you learn your rights and you learn, don't just believe what they tell you and don't just fucking lay down and roll over, right? They don't like me because they don't like the truth. They don't want people to know this shit, right? But it's important that you do know it. Take your power back, okay? Look at that. I just fucking pointed in her direction. Now she's going to leave. Yep, whatever. Anyway, take your power back. Learn your rights, okay? And let's just balance shit out, right? And the cops, you don't need to look at it like we're coming after the cops or something. That's not the case at all. We just think that you guys need to look at it from our point of view. You guys need to full reconstruction of the training process that you guys go through. We need, you know what I mean? It needs, the whole thing needs reformed. The whole police structure, the policing the police, who polices the police? You guys police yourselves. That whole thing, that needs looked at. Yep, look at the guy on the bike is on the phone from his handler telling him what to do, right? I mean, come on. And then I point my phone at him and he runs in the store. Right? Oh, I better get in here. I don't want him to see me. Don't take your helmet off, right? Keep your helmet on, right? That's fucking normal. Let me just keep my helmet on while I'm in this store here. Fucking weirdos, man. They're weirdos. Come on, dude, that's not normal. Sit there with your fucking helmet on like that. Why don't you take your helmet off? For the same reason that skinhead dude put his fucking hood up. For, to get from the store to 10 feet to his truck door. He put his hood up because he was walking in front of my vehicle. And nobody will look at me. It's not like he was weirded out because I'm sitting here recording. No, he knew I was because he's a fucking perp. Right? They all are. Not all of them, but a lot of these people here. A lot of them. Look, it's not even busy here anymore. It's cleared out again. It's funny, we just keep getting these splurges, and everybody walking in's on the cell phone, right? Everybody walking in is on the phone, and then they fucking wait until they get inside. This is like what they do, man. It's weird. I just still, I wonder, are they actually being, fucking mind controlled or something? It's fucking goofy. It's like they figured out some way to get into people's brains with their fucking cell phone or something. Look, this dude's at the checkout line with his helmet on. Come on, dude, take your fucking helmet off. I don't think they appreciate that when you go into a convenience store and you still have your fucking helmet on your head. They probably think you're gonna rob them. Right? It don't look right. It doesn't look right. Like this over here. You're not supposed to leave the gas pump unattended in your car. You're not supposed to do that. But in case anybody knows that, in the state of Pennsylvania anyway, you have to be 16 years of age or older, or licensed to operate the gas pumps. And you're never supposed to leave the gas pump unattended. And you're not supposed to pump gas with your vehicle running. And no smoking. I mean, that's all common sense, but you never know, this day and age, fucking people are so stupid that you actually have to explain this shit to people. You really, really do, People are fucking retarded. Hey, is that my buddy? Is that Johnny? I think that's my buddy. I'm not going to point the camera at him. Anyway, that's about it. I just wanted to tell that story again. It's been a while since I fucking told it. There's probably a lot of my subscribers who don't even know that story. Never heard it. I mean, if you go back and watch the videos, they're on my channel. There's quite a few of them where I talk about it. But it is basically it's very relevant to my situation and why I do what I do now, and it's important that I tell the story again, That's not my buddy. But it's important that people know what really happened. People know the truth, right? And I welcome any scrutiny. I welcome anybody to challenge it. I bring it on, you know what I mean? I can't get anybody to fucking question it or ask any questions about it because they know it's true. If you get anybody saying anything against what I'm saying right now, they certainly won't do it with me present. The only time you ever hear anything against this is if I'm not around, so that they can try to manipulate you, so they can try to paint their own narrative and tell their own fucking story. They'll never enter, an actual open forum debate type style. They'll never engage in a conversation about this issue with me because they know the truth. So that's got to tell you, if somebody's telling you something about me, right, but they won't do it with me around, right? They won't call me out. They won't say it to me, right? They won't call me out on these things. That should tell you everything you need to know. You should question that. I'm not saying to believe me, and I'm not saying to believe them. I'm saying I'm willing to bring this up in front of anybody. I am willing to have it scrutinized, and anybody wants to say anything at all, right? Is this thing overheating? If anybody wants to say anything at all, I am willing to let's do it. Let's go. If you don't know the truth, you're not sure what the truth is, and you want to know, No, it's not overeating. Okay. If you want to know what the truth is, then and you don't believe me, well, let's do it. Please. I would love for some people to have to take accountability for their actions. Believe me, I have a valid fucking case for a lawsuit. But, you know, what's that going to solve for me? I've already been targeted. They've tried to kill me twice. They've tried to wreck my life. And then they do say all kinds of fucked up shit about me. They try to go around saying I'm a pedophile and shit. They try to say I'm a thief and I'm a drug addict and a criminal. And none of it's true. None of it's true. So why are they doing that, right? You got to ask yourself, why are they doing that? If it was true, then I would be in jail, right? Then you'd be able to find a record on me. You'd be able to pull up some record, right? You would, if it was true, then there still wouldn't be a wanted ad up for me. If you look up my name on Google, it pops right up, first thing. Shows wanted, felony burglary. But you go do a FOIA request, right? Do a records request for that warrant or that information. You won't find a fucking thing. It doesn't exist. I would love to know how they got that warrant. I've asked the question, but nobody will answer it. I said, I asked Chief Schilling this, Travis Schilling. I said, what evidence did they submit to get that warrant? Because it didn't happen. I said, oh, I don't know. He said, it's not my case. I don't know. It's Dill's case. You'll have to ask him, right? So I've asked this question to several people. I've just never gone to the court and done the FOIA request, because if they're willing to try to kill me and do all this other shit, what do you think they're going to do if I go push further and go, you know, request the information to be released, right? What do you think they're going to do then? I have already called the DA's office. I've called the state police about it. I've called the FBI. I've got a hold of the attorney. No, I didn't get a hold of him. I contacted the attorney general, right? Nothing happens. Nothing. The FBI hung up on me. The state police and the DA's office played phone tag. They told me to call each other back and forth. I did it twice before I realized it's a game, right? And, you know, the Patton police officers were the ones that were the culprits. So who the fuck do you go to, right? I got to get a hold of the DOJ, that the Civil Rights Division at the DOJ, because they're coming after small town cops. They're doing nationwide investigations on any of these situations like mine. I haven't filed the complaint, you know, because I'm not out to wreck people's lives. I'm not. I don't get any satisfaction out of fucking somebody else's misfortune. That's disgusting, and it's evil, and it's wrong. But if somebody doesn't hold people accountable, it enables them. You're just showing them they can get away with this. And this is compounded to give us the problem that we have today. The situation we're in right now is because people took the easy way and didn't, instead of doing the hard thing, right? It's hard to file the complaint, right? They've been doing this fucking stalking and harassing shit, so it has a chilling effect. And I don't file a complaint, and I don't do anything. So they can discredit me, and they can get away with it, right? They can get away with what they did. So the question is, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable knowing this to be true, and then having these are the people that you rely on to protect and serve you when the time comes? Do you think they'll hesitate to throw your ass under the bus and make up lies and charge you with crimes if it means saving their own ass? Because they did it to me. Are you comfortable with them doing that to your grandchild, or your son or daughter, or your niece or nephew, or your husband or wife? Are you comfortable with that happening to somebody in your family? Right? You're okay with that? You're okay with that happening? Because it can happen to you. You back the blue until it happens to you, though. I'm telling you right now. I've been telling you, and lots of people were telling you. Lots of people were fucking screaming it from the rooftops. So you got to ask yourself, if you're watching this right now and you do nothing, then you want to be part of the problem. You're okay with this happening to your family members, your loved ones. Plain and simple. If you do nothing at all, because you have the power to do something, right? If you have the knowledge about something, you have the opportunity to do something. You have the power to do something. You know, don't you have the responsibility to do it? The obligation to do it? If you have the power to do it. But you also have the power to say, nah, not my problem, right? I'll wait until, I'll back the blue until it happens to me, right? Fucking retard. That's so stupid. You if you look into it, you hear countless stories about even people that were police officers, people that their whole families were police officers and supported the police until all of a sudden they didn't meet the status quo, they didn't fit the narrative, right? And then they end up getting it even worse than anybody else because they have the knowledge, they know how it works. So then they get, you know, you find these cops that get framed for kiddie porn and shit. Of course there's some that are guilty of kiddie porn, but you don't think that some of them cases were just the people were steamrolled and just framed to destroy their life because they had some piece of truth that was in the public's best interest, and instead they just get fucking taken out? I mean, come on, don't be naive. You'd be naive as fuck to think that that shit does not happen, right? And to believe that somebody like myself will go out of my way for no reason at all, continue to speak this truth, right? I don't care what people think. And I don't have anything on the line now as far as like charges or anything like that. Nothing of the sort. So why would I give a damn? Why would I come on here and do this? Why would I continue to shout this out and speak this out so loud and try to, you know, just try to convince people? Why would I do that? What benefit does it have for me? I mean, nothing. But I give a damn about our kids' future and society. And I already know, like, my life is it's already done, you know what I mean? Like, I gave up on caring about my life. My life is not my own. I gave up on caring about that a long time ago when I realized that I'm here for a different reason. There's some reason that the things that happened, the way they happened, and the way that people have come against me, have had bad things happen to them, just everything. There's no way you can tell me that I'm not here for a purpose. And I know what it is. Like, this is what my purpose is. This is the whole fucking point. This is why I'm here. And this is, like, it took all this, you know, for me to realize it, but hey, when you realize your purpose, you realize why you're here, you just know, like, you have, doesn't matter what happens, nobody could even possibly convince you otherwise. You know that what you're doing is right, and you know it's for a purpose, and you know somehow it's gonna make a difference, and that's why I'm doing this. So whatever it takes, whatever comes out of my mouth, it's for a reason. It's because it's what's supposed to come out of my mouth. It's my words doing this is going to have some effect, a positive effect, to change something for the better. I know it. I know it in my heart. I believe it 100%. And, you know, the battle's already won. We've already won. They've already lost. They just don't know it yet. So it just depends on how long you want to fight it. If you're watching this and you don't really agree, or you're one of the people that have a different viewpoint on it, the longer you drag it out, I mean, the longer and harder it is for you, the harder a lesson it is to learn. You know what I mean? I'm the teacher now. It doesn't matter if you're older, have more money than me, you know, you fucking own a bigger house, or, you know, a car that works. You know, your definition of success is not the next guy's. You know, your definition of happiness is not the next guy's. Your priorities are not the next guy's. I tend to believe that my morals and values and what I believe is important is important, just as important to you people. You just don't know it yet. But you will. You just don't realize it yet. And I understand that. You almost have to be it's like kids. You tell them shit until you're blue in the face, and you tell them, you know, oh, don't do this or this will happen, over and over and over and over again, right? And they roll their eyes at you, and then one day, they just don't listen to you anyway, and they do something, and then exactly what you said was gonna happen happens, and then they come back and they say, oh, you were right. I wish I would have learned. I wish I would have listened to you earlier, you know. And then they tell their kids the same story, and this goes on and on. We all know this story. We all know how this goes. History repeats itself, you know. So you can think I'm corny, or you can think I'm over dramatic. I don't care. You're not gonna think that whenever it's your turn, because you know you're here for a reason too. If you're listening to this is for you. You know, this is specifically for you. Yes, you that are listening to this right now. This is for you. There's something you're supposed to get out of this. It's supposed to help you to make the choice, the tough choice, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. It's your life. Whatever it is, this is supposed to help you do that. And I hope it works. Because we're all in the same team, whether you believe it or not. We're all in this together. You're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. Pick one. There's no in between anymore. Doesn't exist. Hey, look at that. That's a nice Jeep, right? Lots of fucking Jeeps around, man. Is that the same red Jeep? Is it back again? Shady's back again. Tell your friends. Guess who's back? 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 He's got his hood up. No, he doesn't. Nah. I ain't gonna record. I don't like fucking just recording, you know, people in my town and just putting them on the internet like that. Most of these people that I record, I don't know who the fuck they are. I've never seen them before in my life. I have no idea. They're not even a familiar face, so I don't have any problem with that, you know. I've been here for fucking 39 years. You know, you haven't, so I don't fucking care. I don't know who you are. Plus, we're in public. It doesn't matter. There's no expectation of privacy in public. And the sooner, you know, that's another thing. So if you think that that's, you know, it's not right or whatever, guess what? It's still the law. It's still the Constitution. It's a constitutionally protected activity, and it's important that if you don't know that you learn that. You know, there's a lot of people. I didn't know that till I realized it. But it's important too. Our Constitution was very important. That's the only thing that's protecting us and our freedoms. What we you know, consider our freedoms, you know. They try to trick us into thinking that we're free, you know, and saying that we have these rights, but they step on them up and down, left and right all day long, and they just keep dwindling them down and whittling it down until we're not going to have any rights left. So my earbuds are about to die, so be good or be good at it. Peace out.